5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, delay. Contemplating. Let's see. When I was little, growing up, there was this assumption that in my house you would become a nurse, or you would become a doctor, or maybe even a teacher. But I also grew up with parents who were artists when they were younger, and so in a way, growing up, I always wanted to be an artist and to do something that was related to Philippine dance. The way I got started in Philippine dance and photography really starts with my family. Both of my parents, my mom and dad, were both dancers with the Philippine Department of Tourism. That's how they met. When we immigrated to America, my mom still kept that part of still pursuing Philippine dance and teaching locally. When I was 13, that's actually when I first started dancing with Barangay Dance Company. Eventually, I started dancing with Parangal, and through Parangal and our research trips, that's how I started really applying photography. Photography has always been part of my life, from disposable cameras to just instances with my family growing up and, capturing memories and making them tangible. And as part of what I do in Parangal and as part of what I do in Philippine dance, especially when it comes to research, there's always opportunity for that to intersect, because we're also trying to remember, what we're doing in the field, and then at the same time also trying to create memories and connections and relationships with the community back home, and also bring that over here to the diaspora. As someone who pursues different artistic disciplines, such as photography, videography, and performing arts, specifically through dance, everything intersects in the work that I do, so I am a little bit more interdisciplinary actually than multi, just because my dance informs the way I photograph by the research that I do for my performing arts. In addition, what I do in terms of videography is also influenced by what I do with dance. And so most of the time, I always try to remember, especially with everything I'm doing with the different disciplines, I try to remember my positionality as an artist, my positionality in the diaspora, and then how am I applying these different perspectives into what I am trying to present or showcase to the audience. So currently with Balay Kreative, my project is focused on Pangalay and intersecting that with Kuntao and Silat forms. The reason why I chose this is because I think that there's a lot of opportunity for us to learn more about Silat and Kuntao, especially coming specifically from the Tausug community. Another thing about that is, for their community, these traditions or these forms of style of Kuntao and Silat are usually really safeguarded and kept to the families, because it's a fighting style and because you don't want your opponent to know what you're doing. It's for safety, it's for defense. And with Pangalay, it's a form of dance and expression, and actually in some cases there has been notion that in order to be a good Silat or Kuntao martial artist, you have to actually be good at Pangalay, because a lot of the movements are similar. And so just wanting to intersect this more with more research, with more information that is, and research of course informed by the cultural bearers with their permission. That's the main thing, with the permission of them, and then bringing that into the diaspora and the community here to just be able to share that. And I guess in this sense, it's a very sensitive topic, because again, with the martial arts forms, it is held closely, and so to be able to share this and to be able to intertwine it with a form of expression and to apply it in an artistic and inspired sense, it's just really a beautiful thing for our community to be able to witness. because not everyone does have the opportunity to learn directly from cultural bearers or masters, or even sometimes people who have learned directly from them. The lack of resources is a big thing, but I feel very blessed to be able to work on this project and to be able to have access to resources from people to cultural bearers to even Balay Kreative and the resources that this grant has provided me. I think when people think of community, it's not only just the connection, but it's also being able to support one another. And being part of Balay Kreative has really enabled me to be able to see that tangible support, not only in terms of like monetary funding, but also from the people who are part of Balay, being able to uplift me in resources and sharing knowledge, and also just being able to, again, connect with other community members who have that same heritage or the same background, and additionally just, you know, being able to take up space, and take up space with people who are like me. It's really powerful and it's so necessary. I'm hoping that with what I produce and what I share with others, it encourages people to connect and get closer to their culture and also the other communities that exist within the Philippines and also within the diaspora. I hope that it engages people to connect with each other, to connect and learn about our heritage, to learn about others' heritages, and also to support the Indigenous communities in the Philippines, and also the other narratives of folks who don't often get the opportunity to have their narratives put out there. So I just hope that it inspires people to keep doing what they want to do, and to also know that their stories and narratives matter and are important, that we share all of that. I hope that other Filipinx artists, emerging artists, tenured artists, I hope that we all remember that our stories are so powerful and important, and because of that, it's important that we share how we're feeling, what we're thinking, and what we're also making. We all have important narratives and stories that should be shared. We never know who is listening, and we never know who's watching what we're doing, and because of that, there's so much opportunity for others to be inspired by what we do. And so I hope that we remember how powerful our voices are and how important our narratives are.